Hey everybody, Kevin from mechanicalvantage.com. Just wanted to let you know there's some big changes with Fusion coming down the pipe, and I thought maybe we could talk about what those changes are going to be, show you what those changes are going to be, and then maybe give you some insight about why some of these changes have been made. So here what we're looking at on the screen is the traditional user interface of Fusion. There's a little change to it, little change of the user interface with one of the last updates. But let's take a peek and see the change that you're going to get, and I'll tell you how you can get that change today right now if you want it. So let's see if I can snap my fingers and make this new user interface appear. Okay, so here it is, and hopefully you can kind of pick up on some of the differences between the screenshot that I had up before and this screenshot now. Some of the things that we can see is we have this new tabbed user interface. So you can see that we have solid and surface and sheet metal. And so instead of these things being patch and sheet metal in a workspace, they're now just directly on the toolbar. A couple other little minor issues, or minor changes I should say, is if you right click, you'll see maybe some different tools here on the marking menu. And one of the things that I'm pretty excited about that I hope is going to come is this marking menu is going to get more context sensitive. For instance, what many people don't know is we can fire off commands by gesturing them. So I could gesture straight down, and if I hover here for a second, you can see that circles up and to the left. So if I wanted to do that with Fusion, I could just right click and hold and gesture in the direction I want. So I could go down and then up to circle. Now I'm in the circle command, and I could go ahead and start my circle. You can see that I didn't have to travel my mouse up there to go up there and do it. Now that I'm in a sketch, I can show you some other changes that are coming. You're going to see that while we still have the sketch palette, a lot of the things like the constraints have been added to the toolbars up here. So we don't have to go to the sketch palette anytime. Now I'm hoping, we'll see if they have any luck doing this, that they can take this sketch palette stuff and put it all up on this toolbar. I'd rather not see this anywhere on my screen. I think all these things could be turned into user interface elements around the edge of the screen, instead of having this sketch palette that takes everything. It's just too much room in my opinion. So there is some of the changes. Now, why did Autodesk do something like that? The way that it used to work is you used to be able to go, I could go to the sketch menu and hit the drop down and choose line and pick my plane and sketch away. What I found a lot in my training classes that I do, and Autodesk found the same thing in their telemetry, is that when a user goes to select the line command, they don't realize that they haven't selected a sketch plane to draw on first. And so their first selection might be to the edge of an object, and instead of selecting the plane that they want to draw on, they select the wrong plane because it's close to the edge, and then when they start to draw, they draw on the wrong side and they get frustrated. So Autodesk is taking that away to make that more apparent. So we're going to each time have to click on the Create Sketch button. We'll have to choose our work plane, user plane, origin plane, part face, whatever it might be, to go ahead and start our drawing. So not that big of a deal, it's just a little minor change you get used to. I'm excited to see how they're progressing with this user interface, and I hope they continue to do more things to kind of ramp it and do some other stuff. Now, if you've seen some of the other CAD videos, what you'll see is that a lot of the commands are buried in these drop-down menus. However, we have all kinds of space up on this toolbar up here where we could add more of the commands. So I agree with some of the other reviewers that I wish those tools weren't hidden in drop-down menus and could be exposed. Now you can certainly come up and add any command you want to. For instance, if I wanted to maybe add the loft command, I can click on the three buttons and say pin to toolbar, and now the loft command is up on my toolbar. But I'd rather that the user didn't have to add all their commands, and I'm not sure we need all these commands up on this toolbar to be full-sized icons either. If you're familiar with Inventor, some of these are larger and some of these are smaller, but all the commands for the most part live on the toolbar. So those are some of the changes that you're going to see come down the road. Now, I've turned this on for me, and you might be asking, how do you turn it on for you? The way you do that is to go to your name and click on Preferences. And then when you get here, you're going to go down to the Preview tab. On the Preview tab, you'll check the box for UI Preview. Once you hit Apply and OK, you're going to get a message. Let me turn it off. I believe I'll get the message. Hit apply. You're going to get a message that says you need to restart for that change to take effect. So I'll hit OK and hit OK here. And the next time I fire up Fusion, I will revert back to the more traditional user interface that we're used to. However, this change is coming. So if you want to, you can go ahead and turn this on now so you can start to get used to it. Hopefully you won't be surprised someday when this pops up and you'll be more used to how this is going to work. Side note, I've been working hard to record a lot more content for you guys to get this up more regularly. I've gotten about 15 videos recorded and put out in the queue so that they can be regularly released. However, I'd love to ask you guys for a favor. If you guys have questions, suggestions, things you want to see, problem files that you're working on that you'd like some help with, go ahead and email those files to me. I'm going to leave my address down in the description of this video, and I'll try to leave my email address in more descriptions of videos. But that's the best way for me to learn or to show people is to use examples that you guys have that you're struggling with. Those have been some of the most liked videos that I put out so far. So if you guys have examples of things you're stuck on or want some help on, there's probably a lot of other people out there too that are kind of stuck and stumbling in those same things. And it helps me out to not have to think of new ideas to sort of show you guys. Don't worry, I have plenty of new things I want to show you as well. But I'm also hoping I can get a mix of user-submitted problems and questions as well. So if you want to submit that, the email address you can use for that is going to be info@mechanicaladvantage.com. So just go ahead and send an email to info@mechanicaladvantage.com. And if it looks like it'll help others, I'll work that into the video rotation. So thanks for watching, and I hope everybody has a great day.